Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever XP Network Tournament Organizer Academy. In this video, we will walk through key parts of the platform to help you get familiar with its features, tools, and how you can use XP Network to run events, build engagement, and grow your community. As one of the founding tournament organizers on XP Network, you're not just learning the platform, you're actually helping shape it. We are building this alongside you, and your feedback is invaluable. So if you have any suggestions or feature requests, we would love to hear them. Just drop them in the feature request channel on our Discord. So with that said, let's just get right into it. Full transparency, I'll be working off of a local testing site on my machine. Everything works the same on xpnetwork.com. I am just going to use this to help with some parts of the demo. So when your account has organizer permissions, you will see an events tab next to this home and browse tabs right here. If you have recently been given organizer permissions, you may need to log out and log back in before it appears. So first thing I want to highlight is setting up payments. With XP Network, you can easily link your Stripe account and start selling tickets for your events. So if you are a large tournament organizer, this is likely your main way of bringing in revenue. And if you're an individual who runs events here and there, this is a great way to earn some extra income. This part is completely optional. You can absolutely run events and tournaments on XP Network without linking a Stripe account. If you skip it, your ticket prices will just be locked at $0. So we will dive deeper into ticketing later on, but wanted to highlight this now as a great way to use XP Network to generate revenue through your events if you choose to. So let's move on to event creation. This is very straightforward. This is where you enter in all of the information about your event. I'll just go ahead and quickly fill this out. So I'm just going to use Star Realms TO demo as the title, and the description, I'm just going to write demo event for the XP TO Academy, and then like you can write stuff like format. We'll be doing Swiss rounds. You can do like an entry fee if you wanted to. I'll just say entry fee. I'm just going to do a $5 entry fee just to showcase the payment process. You can also insert links. You can insert a table to help organize information better. You can embed a YouTube video if you want. So there's some neat bells and whistles here. The activities are what games the event is for, so I'm just going to write Star Realms in here. You can add more than one activity in the case your event is running multiple games, like if you're making this event for like a weekend-long convention that has a lot of tournaments, you can do that, but for most cases an event is just going to have one activity. Also, if there is an activity that you want to run an event for, but it does not show up, just let us know in the XP Network Discord, and it should be no problem adding it. There are two images that you will use. One is for a search preview banner. The other is for the event cover image. The search preview banner is 16 by 9, so I actually have some of these right here. We'll just use this one here, Star Realms, this banner. The built-in crop tool is automatically locked to the proportions for each image, and this will prevent any kind of squishing done to the final upload. So same thing with a cover image. I'll just use this one here. Go ahead and do that. So there we go. Now we have our images we're going to use. The event type, casual or official. An official event is something that's organized by a store or a publisher. So something like a weekly organized play program day. That'd be considered official, or something big like a regional championship, obviously. Casual events are more relaxed, community-driven gatherings, anything that doesn't follow an official organized play structure like a local meetup. We'll just do casual for this one. The location type can be virtual or a physical location. For digital, you just enter a link to like a Discord server, for example. Players will be able to click the link and join. For a physical location, you can enter the venue. So this is powered by Google Maps, so I'll just use like 400 North High Street. This is what we used for Origins events. Columbus, Ohio, here we go. So you can see here that it is pulling from Google Maps. Moving on to the capacity, this is your player limit. I'm just going to put this to 10. Start date and end date, I'm just going to go ahead and do Saturday here. I'm doing it on a Saturday. I'm just going to say, put in some random stuff. It's like 8 a.m. It'll end at like 8 p.m. There's one, I'll add it. Event visibility, draft or published. This is pretty straightforward. In draft state, the event will not show up in searches, but as the organizer, you can still find the event in your profile, and you can flip it to published at any time. So I'm just going to click on published. Organization. This only matters if you are making money by selling tickets. You do not need to be part of an organization to sell tickets. When you set up your Stripe account just by yourself, it will show up as myself under the payments tab. But if you are a member of an organization and you are setting up a paid event on behalf of that organization, then you would be a member of an organization and you would be able to select which organization will be receiving the revenue from the tickets. So just putting on for now, and we'll go ahead and hit create event, and then sure you want to publish event. Yes, I do. All right, so now we have our event set up. Now, even though this video is focused on tournament organizers, I want to point out that XP Network is not just for tournaments. It's actually an events platform first. You can use it to set up all kinds of events, from like demo days and learn to play sessions. You can do very simple things like a wait list, or even some bigger events like live shows or like performances, things like that. It really is a flexible tool for bringing people together no matter what kind of event you are running. XP Network has a very robust built-in ticketing system. It's designed to handle everything from free community events to premium ticketed experiences, and it gives you full control over how you run and promote your events, and we will dive into that in just a bit. Because this video is focused on tournaments, let's go ahead and create a tournament now that we have our event created. So we're going to hit this edit button here, and then you have event, staff, products, attendees, and then tournaments. So event, here's the edit. You can change information if you need to. Staff is adding stuff to your event. Products is for ticketing. We'll get to that. And then the attendees is a full list of people who are attending your events. So we're going to go ahead and click tournaments and then click this create tournament button. This is going to automatically pull over information from the event. So the title and the description, the capacity, tournament structure. This is where you can set your tournament format. You can do Swiss, single elimination, or double elimination. For this demo, I will be setting up a small 4-player Swiss tournament just to keep things brief and easy to follow. This will let you see exactly how the tournament tools work from the user side, and then you will also get a sense of how the system scales for larger events. And then after this walkthrough, I will show you some examples of some bigger tournaments that have already been run on XP Network. So here we have top cuts. Normally an event this small wouldn't have a top cut, but for the sake of the demo, I'm going to set up just the top 2 just to kind of show you how that feature works. And then also after the walkthrough, I'll show you examples of larger events with full top cuts in action. Here we have max games. This is where you can choose how many games are played per match. So if the game calls for a best of 1, you can just set it to max games of 1. You can go all the way up to 5. It's usually best of 1 or a best of 3. For this demo, I'm just going to do best of 3 just to showcase more of the match reporting from the user side. So then the start day and the end day is pulled over. So here we have our tiebreakers. The default tiebreakers are actually set to a best of 3. If you wanted to change it to a best of 1, you would just take off the game win percentages, and then you would click opponent's opponent match win percentage. These are the tiebreakers available for now. They are very universal, proven tiebreakers used for common match structures. Again, as one of the founding tournament organizers on XP Network, you're helping shape the platform alongside us. So any kind of feedback or additional things you want to add, feel free to drop them in the Discord channel. So this is a best of 3, so I'm just going to use the default tiebreakers for the best of 3. So now we're going to go ahead and hit create tournament. So now we have our tournament for the event. So you can click tournament, and then we have right here, this is the tournament editor. We will get into this in a little bit. So now that we have our tournament created for our event, let's move on to the ticketing process. So if you go to the home page, you can see that the event is not available. That's because we need to make tickets for the event. So we go to edit, we go to products, and here we can create a product. This is where you're going to create your tickets. So here we have the ticket type. The ticket type is very important. If this is an event that does not have a tournament, you want to choose event admission ticket. And then you can just type in like general admission, and then we'll just copy here the description. You can see we have 10 tickets. And here's where, like, if you're selling tickets to a concert, for example, you can actually change the maximum quantity of tickets that somebody can buy. So you can set it to like 2 for yourself and a friend. But since this is a tournament, what we're going to do is we're actually going to use the tournament admission ticket. So we're going to do that. We're going to name this tournament competitor. Inventory is 10. And then because it's a tournament ticket, it's going to automatically lock the max quantity to 1. And then we can enable this after saving. We can add the price. So here is where if you don't have your Stripe account linked, this is going to be grayed out. You're going to be unable to change this. I'm just going to go ahead and change this to $5 because we're going to sell these tickets for $5. There's on sale, off sale dates. You can do a countdown if you wanted to. So yeah, this is like sales and pricing. So that's all good to go. And then this is going to grant admission to the event and make them a competitor in the tournament. So I'm going to check mark both of these. So again, we have a tournament admission ticket that we're selling. We're just going to sell 1 ticket. That's going to grant admission to the event and then let them participate in the tournament as well. So we're going to go ahead and hit create. And now you can see that we enabled after saving. So if we go back to the details, the join event button is now highlighted. So if we ever wanted to turn off the tickets, or we just don't flip the switch for enable after saving, we're just going to turn it off, and that's going to make it not available. So we want people to join this event. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip that back on so that they can join. I want to dive a little bit more into the ticketing process. You can actually create some coupons for tickets. So I want to set up 2 coupons. I want to do one for $2 off and the other for 100% off, just to kind of demonstrate. So I'm going to go ahead and create ticket here. This one will be, the name of this one will just be $2 off. The redemption code will be must be 8 characters long. So I'll just say 2 off event. Max redemptions. You can set a limit to this if you want to. I'm just going to leave this one off for now. The expiration date, we can just have this expires at 8 a.m., which is when the tournament starts. So here's the discount. You can do percentage or an amount. I'm going to do an amount here, so $2 off. And then for the product here, we're going to apply this to the tournament competitors. So when they go to buy the ticket, they can enter in this coupon code and it will give them $2 off. So I'll go ahead and create that. So again, you can toggle the event coupons on and off. So I'll just go ahead and create another one here. And this one, we said it will be 100% off. And this one, redemption code will be free event. We'll just say that. Max redemptions, I'm going to put this as 1, so only 1 person can redeem this. Put this here, again, 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. Discount's going to be a percentage, and I'm going to crank this all the way up to 100% and then apply to tournament competitor. So I'm just doing this just to showcase that you can have coupons for events and give players some discounts and stuff. You can make like an early bird special, things like that, a pre-register coupon. It's entirely up to you. There's more to ticketing that we can dive into, like adding ticket add-ons. And then there's also things where if you create multi-tickets, you can have them cannot be combined with, or it requires one. So there's a lot more. Like as I said earlier, it's very dynamic. There's a lot you can do with ticketing, but we're just going to keep this simple with 1 ticket that grants entry into the event and into the tournament. So again, we have our ticketing all set up. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 staff members to help me out here. I'm going to add a judge, and I am going to add a ticket scanner just to showcase more features of XP Network. The judge is going to have access to the judge dashboard in the tournament, which we will get to later. And then the ticket scanner will be able to scan and redeem tickets, which really is more of an advanced feature, but it's really awesome and I want to showcase it. So I'm going to search by username. I have 2 users here ready to go. I'm going to search judge. So here we have an event judge, and then you can assign them any of the following roles. They can be a judge, an assistant event organizer, or a ticket scanner. You can add as many staff as you need. For example, some of the tournaments we ran at Origins had 4 total event organizers, all with the ability to help out, enter data, resolve things in the system if needed. So event judge is going to be a tournament judge for this tournament. I'm going to add staff member. And then I'm going to add my ticket scanner, which is right here, and I'm going to make them a ticket scanner. Here we go. All right. Users who are given a new event role will receive a notification telling them that they need to log out and log back in order for the permissions to show. This is a security measure to ensure that roles and permissions are refreshed properly. So you can see here, I have my ticket scanner, and then I received a notification that my staff permissions for the event Star Realms TO demo have been updated. I may need to log back out and log back in. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to go here, sign out, and then I'm going to sign back in. Okay, so I've relogged. I can click the notification. It brings me here, and then I have the little scanner tab here. But we will set up the scanner session when the time comes. So now that my tournament and event is set up with ticketing and staff, let's get some players in here. So I have 4 emulators here to simulate 4 individual players who are using their mobile phones, and we will be using these as an easy visual way to follow the player perspective and their progression throughout the event. So there's a handful of ways that you can find events. The most common one would be direct link sharing, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the link to this event, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in here. And then it's going to bring me to the event. So I can join the event right here. Here's the Star Realms demo that we're doing. Another way you can find events is just search by name. So I'm just going to search like Star Realms TO demo. Here we go. That's one way to find the event. You can also search by location. So you can just click this right here, and then you can enter in the zip code that is close to the event. So for this event, it was set up at the Columbus, Ohio Convention Center. So we would go 43215, Columbus, Ohio. Here we go. We got some results here. Here we go. And that brings me to the event. Also, you can search by favorite game. So during the user sign-up process, or if you go into your profile, you can edit your favorite games. I can just click this Star Realms right here, and it shows the event here, and I can just click that. So that's another way that you can find the event. So now I'm going to join the event. I'll go through and purchase a ticket normally, and then I'll do the coupon codes for the next ones. So I'm going to go ahead and click these. I'm going to go ahead and purchase a ticket. So this is going to bring the confirmation screen. It's going to set aside a ticket for 8 minutes, and then we will go through and purchase the ticket. Stripe accepts many different forms of payment. You do card, you can do Apple Pay, Google Pay, bank transfer, link. I'll be using card numbers for these. There's some testing credit card numbers that I can use here, so I'm just going to go ahead and fill out this information quickly. No thanks. Thanks for your payment. Here we go. So after I have paid, I receive a ticket, and then I can just hit done. So yeah, I am all paid up. So now that I am in here, we can go back to the organizer view, and we can see here that there's one player in. Alex Carter has joined our event. You can also see in the products tab, if you go to reports, it shows you how much money you made, and then there's other things like your inventory of what you sold and things like that. So that's an additional thing there. So let's get the other guys signed up. I'm going to join this event here. So let's use a coupon code. So the one we said was $2 off. So that's 2 off event. We're going to go ahead and hit continue. So you can see here that it is a $3 instead of $5. So again, go ahead and pay with the card. I'll use the testing numbers. All right, here we go. Thank you for your order. Paid $3, hit done. So now if I go back to the organizer view, you can see that 2 players are now in here. So let's go ahead and use the coupon code that is 100% off. So I'm going to go ahead and hit join event, $5 coupon, and this one was free event. Go ahead and hit continue. $0 here. Put the name, Taylor Morgan, and then, I'll just use that one, doesn't really matter. And then you can just hit complete order. You actually don't need card information for this because it's a free event. So here we go, got our ticket, hit done. And then you can see here that we now have 3 spots taken. So we'll go ahead and register the last player. All right, here we go. So now all 4 of our players have been registered for this event. You can see here, attendees, we got 4 players of the 10-player capacity. So now we can go back to our players, and then they have their tickets here that they can access. But then they also have this competition tab right here, and this is where everything tournament related is going to be in. So your Swiss rounds or your elimination brackets, the standings, table numbers, opponent's username. You can report your matches through here. You can check into the tournament here. So like that's something I can just kind of showcase here. Can check into the tournament for these 2, and I pull up, you can go to the events and the tournament, and then go to competitors, and you can see that 2 players have checked in. And then also as the organizer, you can also manually check them in as well. And then there's also a check in all button where you can check out all players or check in all players. So that exists as well. You can, if it's a single elimination tournament or double elimination, you can reset the seeds, and then you can swap seeds as well, just to customize that initial bracket. Okay, so before we actually start the tournament, I wanted to showcase that ticket scanner. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull up this right here. I'm going to go into our staff. I'm going to go to our ticket scanner here. I'm going to create a scanner session. So this is an advanced feature. It is really, really cool. It is optional, but this can be used for many things. It can be used for participation confirmation. It can be used for prize pickup. If a player is redeeming something for an item, it can be used for entry into a private area, VIP access. There's many, many cool ways that you can use this feature to verify that a player has performed an action. You can scan their ticket and enter them into a raffle. That's one thing you can do as well. So I'm going to go ahead and create a redemption session here. We're just going to say that this is like a private area. So I'm just going to do front door, right? So there's going to be, this guy's going to be at the front door, scanning the tickets and allowing people into the event. You can do scan or look up. I'm just going to do scan. And then we're going to go ahead and redeem both of these where they can enter the event and then join the tournament. So I'm going to go ahead and create this scanner session right here. So now we can go back to our ticket scanner, and we can see now that they have a scanner for the front door. So I'm just going to demonstrate this for one person. So I'm going to pull up that person on my phone on a mobile device. So you can see here, this is Alex. This is our first player. We're going to go ahead and go to the event, and then we go to the ticket right here. And then we just go ahead and pull up the ticket. And then boom, success. So we have a ticket was successfully validated. I can just go ahead and scan it again just for the sake of doing it. It's already been redeemed, but you can just say that right here it just says that the ticket has already been used. There's also some other things too, like if I pull up a ticket that's from a different event, like I can pull up this ticket from a Magic tournament. It says failed, this ticket is for a different event. So the ticket scanner is really, really cool. Like I said, you can use it to verify actions that a player takes. So there's many, many different ways to use it, and you can get super creative with using it. So if we go over here to our products, and then we go to the orders right here, we can see that Alex Carter has redeemed their ticket. So in the case of like giving out prizes or whatever, this is a way you can use to track if the player has redeemed their items. Also the redemptions here, this gives you a log of all the scans that have been done, and then the reports is how much money that has been made. So you can see that the gross revenue was 15. We had 4 players sign up. One used the 100% off coupon. Then you have the net revenue, which came from like the fees and the coupon codes and things like that. And then there's some other stats as well. That's all in this thing right here. So Also, I want to add that if somehow your camera scanner is not working, you can actually go ahead and manually redeem as well. So you can just say the location. Like this was done at like TO station or something, right? So I can hit redeem, and then I can manually redeem it there. And then that would show up in the redemptions tab as well. All right, so I know that was a lot to cover. We just walked through event creation, tournament setup, ticketing, user registration, ticket scanning, and more. The big takeaway here is that XP Network gives you a lot of freedom and flexibility to create events that fit your needs, and it keeps everything organized along the way. So now, let's actually dive into the tournament itself. We're going to go over here to the tournament. All right. So the time of day has rolled around for the tournament to start. We're going to make sure that all the players are checked in, which is what we did a little earlier. We can go to competitors and we can see that they're all checked in. Players can also check in on their phones. Again, if you ever wanted a clean slate, you can actually like check out all players, and that actually checks them all out. So then you can see here that they're all checked out. And then if you wanted players to manually check in again, like if this is like prior to a player meeting or something like that, that's something that you can do. Or you can just use the button to check in all players. So here on the edit tab, you can see on the right, we have some Swiss options. Set round duration in minutes. You can change this to however many minutes per round you want. So if it's like a best of one game, you would just make it like 30-minute rounds or 25-minute rounds, whatever. Since this is a best of 3, it'd probably be 50-minute rounds or 60. I'm just going to put 60-minute rounds. The system will show the recommended number of Swiss rounds. So this is a 4-player tournament, so it's going to be 2 rounds of Swiss. You can add another round if you want, or you can erase rounds. You have the freedom to do things like that. You can also change the time between rounds if you want. Generally, TOs are just firing off rounds as soon as they're ready. So as soon as everything is done, we're going to go ahead and click Create Initial Pairings. And this will pair the entire round 1. So if you ever need to swap players for any reason, you can just click the match right here, and you can go in here and then type in like Taylor Moores, right? And then you would hit the update match button, and then that's how you would swap players around in tables if you ever needed to. So then after pairing the round, you would want to click Start Tournament, this little start button right here. What this is going to do is it's going to send a notification to all players. So we can go back to our players right here. We can click the notification right here. You can see that we have a notification that says that the Swiss rounds were created, and then a notification that says that the tournament is starting. So you can see here that in this competition tab, you have results, brackets if there's like single or double elimination brackets available. There's also standings. There's the different rounds that's going on. You can see here that each player has, at the bottom right here, the table that they're sitting at, and then the opponent that they're playing against. So these two are at table 2, and then these two are at table 1. So when all players are seated and ready, what you would do is you would go ahead and click Start Round. And what that's going to do is it's going to start the individual match timer. So each match has a timer that will start ticking. This is where players will play their rounds and they will report their results. So let's go ahead and just say that this match is done right here. This match at table 2. We'll say that this player won 2-0. So here's the submit results thing. So we can just click both wins here, click continue. There's a confirm match results. You can see that the match will be reported as a 2-0 win. You can also go back and like change things. Like if you only won one game, you can just uncheck this, hit continue. It says that you won the match as a 1-0, or if it was something like 1 win and 1 loss, you can see that it's reported like that. So we're just going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and continue, and then this player is going to go ahead and hit marked 2. So here we go. So that automatically completes the match. So you can see here in the tournament organizer view, it has automatically been updated to show that this player won. The ideal situation is you want to encourage both players to report their games. This puts accountability on all the players, and it's also easier on the tournament organizer. Now, let's say over here at this table, we have a misreport. So a player who actually lost is reporting that they won. So we'll just say here, let's just say this was like win, loss, win. So this person is like loss, win, win, right? Let's just say this happened, and then they submit. So what this is going to do is it's going to flag the match as a dispute. So now what this is going to do is it's going to flag a dispute in the system. It's going to alert all the judges and the tournament organizers. So now, as the organizer, I go over to my disputes tab, and I can see that we have a dispute here. So we can see that there's clearly something wrong. This tells us the table that it was at. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my judge right here. I can see I have a judge dashboard. I have access to this as well, and I can see this from the judge panel as well. So clearly this needs fixed. The judges or the TO would go over to this table, see what happened, and then clarify who actually won this one. So we'll just say that Taylor was one who lost. So we can go in here and actually flip it like that, and we can correct it that way. And then this will also reflect over here in the round view that the match is now completed. Once all matches are completed, the round will automatically end. You can then move to the next round and then generate the pairings here. Also, you can see here that it automatically updated after the tournament organizer fixed it for these players over here. So let's move over to round 2. We're going to go ahead and hit generate pairings. We can see here from the player point of view, we're going to go ahead and move some of these around here. This guy's at table 1, this guy's at table 2. So we're just going to move this here for the visual. So yeah, players would go ahead and find their opponents. They would sit down. And then once players are seated and ready to go, the TO can click start round, and that's going to automatically switch it to the timer right here. You can see that the round has started. They also get the notification as well that the round has started. Again, players play out the round and they report as they finish. This is the general loop for all Swiss rounds. It's pretty straightforward. One thing players can do, they can actually call a judge from the app. So we can just say here, you can use the help button. We hit request assistance. You can say opponent is cheating. You don't have to write anything, but I'm just going to write this right here, hit request. And what that's going to do, it's going to throw the match into a dispute, and then it'll alert the judges and the TO. And then you can go over here to the disputes tab, and you can actually see here that there was a dispute. So you can see table 1, opponent is cheating. It was created by this player here. When this judge call is made, it actually pauses their individual timers. You can see here 59 minutes and 20 seconds, but this match over here, the timer is still ticking. After the judge call has been finished, the judge can resolve the dispute in the judge dashboard, and resolving the dispute will unpause that individual match timer. So now there's no need for a hand wave time extension like, oh, you guys get 5 more minutes, whatever. Now there's an exact amount of time that was taken, documented, and given back to the players. So let's go back to that judge dashboard. Let's say we resolve this issue, right? So after it's resolved, judge or the TO can go in here and we can say confirmed opponent. We're just going to say accidentally drew 1 additional card, right? And we're going to hit resolve. So after the dispute is resolved, as I said, that timer is now going to start ticking again. You saw it was at 59:20, and now it's going to start ticking again, while this timer has still been ticking. So you can see that there's been about 2 minutes that's been taken, and it has been given back. So now in the judge dashboard, you have the judge notes. So this is actually pretty important. This is an excellent way to keep track of potential problem players who may be causing offenses multiple times. So for example, in a large tournament, round 8, the judge was called on the guy who had the same infractions for rounds 2 and 5. You now have documentation that is visible by all judges and event staff, not just the judges who personally took the judge call. So the whole staff can view it. It's not viewable to the public. The judge notes do stay in the judge dashboard even after the tournament has ended. Again, it's only visible to the staff, so if you have a repeat offender across multiple events, multiple tournaments, the TO can dig back into their tournament history and have documentation of these offenses. So anyways, let's go ahead and finish up this round. Let's go ahead and report some scores. So we'll say here that this was pretty close. We'll say that like it was reported like this. Go ahead and submit these ones here. So that match is done. And then we'll just say here that this person won game 1. And then this person had a really bad day. Let's just say that they stalled him out game 1, and then game 2 it hit time. So this person won as a 1-0, right? And let's just say this person just they just rage quit. They have no interest. They're just done. They just packed up and left. So what we can do now, go back to the round right here. We can see that only one game has been filled out here. If we were to hit the end round button, it actually throws a window right here that says, hey, look, you have some unresolved matches. We can actually go in here and actually manually flip this right here. So on the update game. So here we go. We can confirm with the players that's been the result. Also, players can drop from the app, as you saw with whenever I hit the request judge button. There was also a drop from tournament button as well, but you can also go ahead and click one of these players. So let's say this person lost and he's just done. You can just click him. It's going to take you to the competitors tab, which automatically filters him. You can change the status to self-dropped, and then that will drop them from the tournament. There is another thing that kind of want to show you where if we have rounds here, you can actually do a double loss. You can actually change a match result to a double loss. Then you update match. This is not super common, but it is used in some cases where some games do not allow draws or ties, and if players go to it, then it's actually a double loss. Or if you have two players who are super unsportsmanlike, you can just hit the double loss button. That is something that the system accounts for that you can do. But again, once all matches are done, it automatically completes the round. And yeah, that's the Swiss loop. Obviously, you might not have super complex judge call situations like this in every single round. I just wanted to cover these things in the demo. In practice, the flow is very smooth. We ran 6 tournaments at Origins, and we were just cruising through Swiss rounds. There was a 62-player WeCross event in Texas that used XP Network, and then the TO said it ran smoothly. So now that the Swiss rounds are done, I want to showcase the top cuts. So also players can see the standings too. So we can see here round 1, round 2. These are the standings for both. You can see that this player dropped. Players can also see this from their side as well. They can just go to standings, and then they can see the standings for round 1 and round 2, and then they can see their tiebreakers as well. So players have access to this view as well. And then, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that top cuts. So we're going to go ahead and click top cut, successfully advance to the top cut. And then we can see here, Alex Carter and Chris Dawson. If you go to rounds 2, you can see the top 2 players were Alex Carter and Chris Dawson, and they are the proper people playing in this top 2. So just go ahead and click start round. And then players are playing here. We can go ahead and just add these. Guy 120. We'll just go ahead and fill this out. And then there we go. I know this is a very short, just top 2, but I want to bring in the event that WeCross did. This was a 62-player event with the top 8. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the rounds here. So you can see round 1 and round 2. You got winners round 1, then winners round 2, and then winners round 3. We can go ahead and click bracket, and it actually shows us the player usernames and then their progression through the bracket, 1v8, 2v7, and so on. So there's an example of a top cut bracket that was played to completion. We also have the Star Realms tournament as well, which was held at Origins, and very much the same thing here. You can go to the rounds. We had rounds here, and then we have winners round 1, winners round 2, and then winners round 3, all done to completion. Then here's the bracket for that as well. So yeah, back to our tournament here. After the tournament is done, you can go ahead and click this stop button, and this will officially end the tournament, and that will also send a notification to the players as well. so that the tournament is completed. The notification system is very neat. If the player's in the bathroom or they're outside in a smoke break, and then like they can see that the Swiss rounds have been created, it's like, oh, so now it's time to go to the event hall and start playing. Now, there are also features like XP allocation and our Shopify integration that is used for retail stores. These are still in development. I'm not going to dive into these into this video, but please do keep in mind these tools are being built with direct feedback from organizers like yourselves. And as XP Network grows, even more features will continue to roll out. And by being part of this platform early, you are helping shape what is next. And that's a full walkthrough of an event on XP Network, from event and tournament creation. There's ticketing, the registration, the entire tournament process. Hopefully this gave you a solid overview of how everything works together and how XP Network can simplify running events of all sizes. Thank you for watching. If you have questions, feedback, or ideas, feel free to reach out or drop them in the Discord server. We are always here to help.